2026 for me, if 2025 was the transformation year, this year, the name of it, from my point of view, is decisiveness. This is the year of decisiveness. I will need to take decisions that I was not able to take before.
Can you give an example?
Bold decisions like who to connect with and who not to connect with. Because what I realized during this tough journey of the last 15 months, and sorry to say that, some masks on people's face I saw in a different way. The masks were revealed. People that I thought that will help me, they didn't. And other people appeared in my life that helped me without anything. The second bold decision I would take, for example, I will start to say no to a lot of things that I used to do. Anything that will consume my time, my energy, my effort versus what I want to reach.
It's not a hell yeah, it's a no.
Exactly. If it's not a hell yeah, if it's not a big yes, if it will not add value to my aspiration and vision, no need for it.
Many leaders are defined by the title they hold. Today, I have a special guest. He is defined by the moment that happened in his life, moments that changed his leadership style. Mostafa is a leader who has helped multiple FMCG businesses across the globe, multinational businesses in more than 20 countries. Mostafa decided at some moment to leave everything behind and start a new chapter in his life, probably multiple chapters in his life. Mostafa accepted today to sit down with me to understand the transformation that happened in his life. And we will decrypt his journey and we will take out the meat, the lessons, so that everyone can learn from the life of Mostafa and apply it to his day-to-day life. Mostafa, thank you very much for accepting to be with us here and to share this human moment with me. I'm very keen to understand and learn from your life and share it with the audience.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure. I'm very humbled to be part of this great series of podcasts, and thank you for hosting me and looking forward.
Thank you. Mostafa, I'm gonna go dive in directly into the moment, or probably multiple moments, where everything shifted in your life, the turning point, the moments where you said, the past is the past, there is a future, and I need to change. Can you take us to those moments? Can you describe them for us and tell us what happened?
Okay, that's a deep question. So when I reflect back, I have three turning points or three moments that shaped my whole life. I've been working for the last 23 years, which we will go through. But the three moments are simply, the first moment was 2011, which was 9 years after I graduated and worked in corporates. And I could describe it simply as I went bankrupted, fully bankrupt. I'm not a billionaire, but all the money that I have done
For the 9 years,
for the 9 years,
they are all gone.
all gone in a private business that as an entrepreneur I decided to go for. And I was slightly below 30 years old at that time. But this was the first turning point I've learned from. And this is the moment where I felt that failure is actually most of the time very beneficial. Because if I hadn't had this failure early, I think I would have struggled more and more. So this was the first turning point and the aha moment that it's not the end of the world. So at this moment, the only thing I had financially was my next month's salary.
So what drove you, Mostafa, to take all your savings and then put them, all of it in a business, in a private business, while you could still keep going? You have your salary per month. You can actually survive. You can have a good life. What drove you to take that decision? It's a big risk.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's part of my personality, which I'm sure we will cover and talk about the origin and how I was raised. But I'm a risk taker. I had full belief in this project. But also, to be very fair, I was immature. So at that time, the maturity level was not the same as I'm speaking with you now. So the experience I had, the passion was maybe too much. And I think this is one of the lessons, the word when you say don't put your eggs in one basket. I think this is a real life example. I've tried it myself and I've put one egg in one basket and I lost the egg and I lost the
Many eggs
basket
in one
even.
basket.
Exactly.
So what did you learn from it?
So, first of all, it's not the end of the world if you fail. Number two, the financial part is not the most important part of life. So, yes, we all seek financial security and safety for yourself, for your kids, for your family, for your future. But I started from scratch after 9 years. I was back, so other people were ahead of me. Doesn't matter. The third lesson I think was self confidence. So if you
You
fail,
can always build up.
just build this resilience, start from scratch. You have it all. Believe in yourself and just continue. And the last one was, again, a very functional learning on the type of business, on the type of partners, on the model itself. Uh, Although, to be also very fair, part of it was the revolution that happened in Egypt,
Okay.
which was an external factor, but it impacted us. And if I want to see it in a positive way, also on a learning way, some businesses didn't collapse in the revolution.
Yeah.
But this model that we had collapsed 100%.
Because those businesses are probably more resilient
Most probably. Most
than
probably.
you, the
So,
one
yeah,
you are invested
those are the
in.
learnings I could
And
share.
what was the external behavior, like the close family, friends, when they see you, you took all the money, you put it, you are broke again. Were you married at that time?
I was married and I
So
had
I
kids.
suppose
And I
you
had
you
both
have
kids.
kids.
I had
Okay.
both kids.
So what was the reaction, at least to of your close family, where you need to start again from zero?
So there were mixed feelings. So definitely my father, before he passed away, he was still with me. He's an entrepreneur by nature, although with a different model of entrepreneurship. He encouraged me, go ahead, if you feel you want to do this,
Okay.
do it. But at the same time, he still recommended me not to put all the money there. But I was seeing it differently. If I bet big or dream big, I'll gain big.
Mm.
But again, I will lose everything if I lost, which
Because
happened.
you said you
Which
are a
happened.
risk taker, so
Yes,
you
but this was
they're
too
all
much
in.
risk. So the phrase of calculated risk. Most probably, I didn't calculate it right.
Okay,
But
so
yeah, that's part of the learning.
the learning is to calculate your risk and then don't put all the eggs
Yes.
in one basket.
So this was the first turning point or aha moment for me that I.
Usually you read it in books, but you have lived it
Yes.
directly.
Yes, 100%.
So you said that's the first turning point. Uh, Usually the name of the podcast is 0 to N. So you already had your N, one of the N's, and then you went to zero.
Yes.
And then you said that there are three turning points. What was the second one?
The second one, if I describe the first one as the first, okay, the second one is the toughest.
Okay.
Okay. This was the era between 2016/17 till 2020. Those 3 years I always talk about because those were the toughest 3 years in my whole life till this moment. Okay. I'll tell you a series of things that happened during those 3 years, and you will tell me your feedback. If someone faced all those things together, combined, how would he feel? Okay.
Okay.
So it started with losing my father. He passed away
Sorry.
2016, 2017. My father was a very resilient, tough dad, but an entrepreneur that I learned from. But I didn't realize what I've learned from him except after he left. This was the first moment within the series of actions that.
Did you spend time with your father before? Enough time?
No, no. I was living abroad 5 years before he left. And I think this is one of the reflections. I know most of us are expats here, if not all of us. And this moment, actually, you reflect back. Does it really deserve to be away from your parents, especially when they get older? I don't know the answer. but definitely you need to spend more time. And this is what I've learned and what I'm doing now with my mother, God bless her, every single month. So this was the first thing that happened during those 3 years. Then followed by a couple of actions without the sequence of it. I stopped sports. I used to be a professional soccer player. I used to be a very sportsaholic person, getting like my shape fit. During that time, I went into a depression. I gained 54 kilos. So the person you
Oh,
see now was double, literally double. I
so you
was
are
140 kgs.
so transformation for you in is physical and internal at the same
Exactly.
time.
So mentally, I was collapsed. Physically, I was a big failure. Besides that, it really psychologically impacted me because I had my kids. I was not able even to play with them, move with them because I was a very fat person, and mentally I was not okay. The third thing that happened is I got divorced after 15 years of marriage. Okay, and my kids are not that old at that time. They were 10 plus or minus, two kids, a son and a daughter. So the divorce happened also. The fourth thing that happened is with the restructure, I lost my job, and before losing the job, I actually was asked to move from the fancy life in the Gulf to move back for an assignment in Egypt. And everyone knows that at that time, Egypt was not in the best shape after the revolution, financially got impacted, but I had no options. But even when I accepted this, less than 1 year after, or almost 1 year, I lost my job. So
Wow,
imagine all this sequence. Then the famous COVID came, which
mm,
made
it
life
was
even
worse and
more
harder.
harder and tougher.
So this is Mustafa. This is the probably the darkest period in your life.
Yeah.
You lost your
Yeah.
father. You gain
Divorce, lost
weight,
job, gained
divorce.
weight.
So everything that can happen to a human from a loss
In a whole life
perspective.
happened in 3 years.
So take us to the emotional part. Take us to that moment. How did you feel? Did you had even the energy to keep going? How did you come out of this whole crisis? There are potentially people watching us who lost their job or they are also struggling with their personal life and they are asking the same question. So, what mindset did you have to actually keep going and then move away from this darkest period of your life?
So before I go with the fancy stuff that everyone will tell you that yes, I was the Superman, I did this, I did that. So if I want to talk very frankly to the people listening to us, this was the darkest moment. These were the darkest years. I collapsed. I collapsed. I was psychologically not good, physically not good, mentally not good. And I don't want to say that, but some people, if they were not tough enough or raised in the right way, they would have committed suicide to that
Mm,
extent. But
mm,
nothing deserves. And this was the moment I started to connect with the right people. So, the answer to your question and what changed the full emotional status was connecting with the right people. Right
yeah.
people means family, right people means kids, right people means friends, close friends, and even the right people at work at that time. The second thing that started to to get deeper in my life is what do I want to do? Do I want to continue what I'm doing or I want to start something else? And by the way, at that time, this was the second era of being an entrepreneur. And my passion is always about food. So the first business that collapsed was in the F&B
Mhm.
industry, which collapsed because of whatever reasons we talked about. The second one in 2021 was also F&B business, but this one was successful. It's continuing till now. It's a food truck business that we
Okay.
launched in Egypt very
Allah.
successfully, and it's continuing till now. We're entering the fifth year now.
Mm.
So this was the passion I followed. Then I decided, okay, it's about time to go back to corporate. So this 1 year was like the rest year for me to reshape, regain my energy, follow my passion, do all this stuff.
So, Mustafa, let me just take a moment in
Yeah.
this exact period of your life because I think there's a lot of learnings we can extract from it. So, you lost everything. Probably your bank account there was minuses in your bank
Yes.
account potentially. Your hope, you said that you probably thinking about suicide or your hope is gone.
I
There's no
didn't
hope.
think, but
But this, at least there is. It's for a normal person. Probably
yes,
that's the path
yes.
they are taking. And you said the advice is surround yourself with the right people.
That's the first thing.
Yeah. But there were already a lot of people. You were already surrounded with a lot of people
Yeah.
before. Were those people already still there?
Not all of them.
Because when you are at this period of your life, it's very hard for you emotionally.
You're very fragile.
Exactly.
You're very fragile.
To go out there, build a relationship with the right people. If you are not very resilient as a human being, you wouldn't even leave your home. You would just sit
Yes.
home all the time.
Which happened for a couple of
Yeah.
weeks.
So my question is, I know you have something that people can take out that helped you actually go out, build that hope. Okay, there is hope. I can still do a lot. I know, I trust myself. I'm confident in myself. I can still go. I can still keep pushing. What was it?
Let me put it in the structured way. So, since I'm a German educated person, so I'll go back to my DNA of the German style, not the Egyptian style. You know what? After realizing that I'm not surrounding with the right people to help me in this phase, the second thing which I urge everyone to learn from is the faith.
Okay.
Whatever your religion is, okay, whatever your belief is, believe in God and have faith. So the first thing I did at that time is I went to Hajj. It's for the first time ever, and this was the only time. Okay, so this was again a relief inside myself, and I prayed a lot. I don't know what to do, so God, I need help. So this was the second thing I did. Third thing, which is again another learning, reach out to the subject matter experts. So when I gained weight, I didn't know what to do. So I went to doctors, psychiatrists for myself and my kids because we were not in the best mental shape because of the divorce. Because
So seek help.
plus, yes, seeking help
Yeah.
from a psychiatrist. Even before the divorce, to a marriage counselor. The second part was going to a nutritionist to try to save whatever I could save or go back to health. The third thing, even I did, and not a lot of people know that, some people recommended to do operations to reduce my weight. And I met a doctor that I really want to thank him because he played mentally with me. This operation, I did the operation, was supposed to reduce my weight by 40, 50 kilos. He actually pretended that he did the operation. He did the operation, but he, instead of cutting a specific amount, which is normal, he did like a tiny piece. And he kept me in the mode of, we've done whatever we do.
Placebo effect.
So, yes, so now it's your role. So I didn't lose from this operation except 10 kilos, but then the rest was on me mentally.
Yeah.
And then the other subject matter expert was going back to coach, to being coached with like a life coach as well as sports coach. This is where I started to practice back swimming, yoga, soccer.
But at this period you were working, at least you had some savings because everything that you mentioned requires some.
But I spent part of the end of service that I got in the private business that I launched. But I learned from the previous experience.
Yeah.
So not all the eggs in one basket. So the private business is part, the personal development is, and rehabilitation or the healing part is the second part. And the third part was some savings to be kept for the family. So this is the process I went through.
So one of the codes, what I understand is, if you are in a crisis mode, seek help.
Yes.
Get mentors, get people who probably have gone through the same situation, or at least they can help you, take your hand, hold your hand,
Experience
and
people.
take you to the next level.
Never shy away from that. Never.
Absolutely. Because I'm gonna go to the third one here
Mm.
because we mentioned I think the second was the hardest, the toughest, the darkest. What was the third one?
The third was the recent. So if I describe it, is the recent, which was 15 months ago, which was the decision of quitting corporate. Again, a massive restructure happened. I was the general manager, head of a business unit in one of the big multinationals globally,
Mm-hmm.
managing the whole region for this segment. And then the global company decided to sell this whole unit globally.
Mm.
And then I was left with options like, okay, relocating to a country that I was not
Not
happy to
interested.
relocate to. Financially, the options were not the best. Then I took the very tough decision. I will quit, or with whatever I put on the table was rejected. So you can say out of restructure, you can say I got fired, you can say I quit, you can say whatever you say. I
Mm.
don't care. I don't mind. What's the description of it? I left my role, I left my job. This moment was the most recent, but also the strongest faith in myself, because this was the hard decision to say, I will quit corporate forever.
Mm.
This is the time where I decided I will pursue my own private service, which is currently I'm doing for the last 15 months consultancy and trainings and
Mm.
capability building.
But why quit in corporate? Imagine if the conditions were right, would you stay? Would you have stayed?
There is nothing called imagine if this happened. Okay.
Because you said you decided to leave corporate.
Yeah, but everything happened for a reason, right?
Mm.
So God have put me in this situation to take the decision.
Okay.
And maybe, I don't know the answer, by the way.
Mm.
If I was not fired or restructured or changed or the company didn't decide to sell, I don't know. Okay, but this is what happened. And I needed to act accordingly.
Okay.
And I needed to take the right decision. So I never regret decisions, but also at the same time, I never think backwards. What if this
Mm.
happened, this didn't happen? I never think this way. And that's again one of the things
Mm.
I've learned the hard way in my life. Everything happens for a reason. You just simply need to act based on the situation you're into.
Would you go back to corporate one day?
No,
Why?
because how do I say it? I've tasted
Okay.
how private business, with clearing your mind that you don't have this corporate obligations, okay? And I'm not saying that it's a fancy way
It's a rosy way.
or it's a rosy path. No, it's actually harder. It's tougher. You wake up every day, you don't know. If you talk about financial security, I don't know where my next income or my next
Will
penny or dollar will come from, or it will come or not. I don't know. But I have faith. I have trust in my capability. I know that I have some experience. I know that I have good network, that people will believe in my experience. And I started. And again,
Mm.
I pray every day and I say, God, please help me. But I don't sit on the chair. No. If you see, I work, I would say triple the number of hours I used to work in corporate,
But you enjoy it a lot.
despite I don't know the income will come or not. But the most important thing, I really enjoy it. I'm following my passion, my intuition.
Mm.
And this is what motivates me. This is what makes me every day wake up early morning, 6 a.m., passionate about the day I'm into now. That's it.
So, a question, because I had this conversation with multiple guests, and then the question is, do you believe that there are people who are made for private business and people who are made for corporate? Is this
100%.
you believe that?
100%. Not everyone is designed for being an entrepreneur
Mm-hmm.
or private business. Not. And it's not good or bad, huh? It's
Mm.
not that this person is resilient, this one is not.
Yeah, so it's a
No, it's just the
mindset.
shape, the mental
Mm-hmm.
ability, how you were raised, the values, the persistence and resilience you have might help you in corporate, but not in private life, or vice versa.
Okay.
So no, not everyone is designed the same way or for the same path.
Okay, I understand. So, Mustafa, I see a lot of resilience, a lot of adaptability, a lot of going to the bottom and then going up again. It happened multiple
Yes.
times in your life, even in one period, multiple times,
True.
and you still stand up and you still keep going, you still keep pushing. That's impressive.
Thank you.
If we look at all of that and we go back in time to the origin, to where it all started, because Mustafa that we see, that manifests in all those occasions, is the same Mustafa that grew up in a small city with an entrepreneur father, with a close, loving family. Take us to the origin, describe for us the origin, and focus on the moments, the learnings when you were a kid that shaped who you are today as a human being.
Flashback. So I was in a German school, so my whole education is in German. And I mention this because this is how I want to phrase it, because I'm this humble Egyptian person, but having my full education in German with
Mm.
Germans in a German school
In Egypt.
in Egypt, but traveling a lot to Germany
Hmm.
also with those programs, defined my DNA and
Mm.
who I became. Okay, so that's
Hmm.
the starting point.
So more structured, more
Very
square.
structured, disciplined, this
Yeah, yeah.
machine designed person with the humbleness of other
Culture.
personality and culture and being in the Middle East and Egypt in specific. Then I went into university, but also worth mentioning that since my childhood, I play sports.
Mm.
So also this is part of my DNA. This is part of who I am now.
And you are not just playing sport as a normal player. You played, you mentioned you, at least you told me you played football in the national
Yes,
team.
I used to
Do
be
you
a
play
professional
high?
soccer player. I had the opportunity to play with the national team of Egypt.
Mm.
Then I got injured. I played other sports also. So I played
Okay.
also judo and handball.
And
So
that shaped your mindset since
100%.
the beginning of your
I
life.
intentionally played with the support of my parents, team games like or
Mm.
team sports like sports and handball and football. But I also played individual ones like judo, which is martial arts, which is again shapes who you are, who you think,
Mm.
and how you deal with people and pressure. So that's on the sports part. And then the third thing is worth mentioning that even during my high school and university, okay, in Egypt, I still worked.
Mm.
So I was not a typical student that only studies during winter and enjoy the summer. No, I was working during winter in the university.
Was it because your family pushed you
No,
to,
no one
or
pushed
it
me.
was just your decision?
It was the way I was raised.
Mm.
I felt, and these are the signals you just realize in the early stages. I didn't want to be the person after I graduate from university. I saw the struggle that everyone faces. Okay, what do I want to become? Okay, I will go into this company. I fail, I succeed. I don't know. Do I want to work in sales? Because my major is business administration. Business administration or finance. I could be an accountant, I could be a salesperson, a marketing person, HR person, whatever it is. So at that time, I realized that instead of going into those confusions, I worked everything you could imagine during high school and the 4 years
Mm.
of university. I did data entry. I did internships in HR, in companies, in marketing, in fundraising, in extra activities, in sales.
And you
Why?
learned it in the job.
I learned it on the job. So the moment, the day I graduated, I knew that I'm sales by nature.
Mm.
I will work in FMCGs. And a couple of weeks after, I joined Unilever in a sales role within the context I just mentioned. So this is how I was raised in a way. If I could reflect on the other thing, which I give the kudos and the gratitude back to my parents, the values I was raised with. I told you my father was an entrepreneur
Mm.
most of his life. So I didn't feel that except when I got older. But the resilience, the persistence, every day waking up with a cause, and he wanted us to be the best. And now being an entrepreneur, I felt the harsh life he used to have, because you don't have like secured income, you don't know what will come next. You face 10 rejections and one acceptance. So I think this also shaped me,
Did you
and I
have a
learned
lot?
it from my father.
Did you have a lot of rejection when you were a child?
100%, 100%. In different aspects. So in education and sports and life, friendships.
So no,
Yeah,
you are. That's why you are immune
yeah. My
afterwards.
That's why what I am who I am now. The last thing I want to tell you is what I've learned from my mother is the integrity part,
Mhm.
the empathy part, and what I really owe her, aside from hundreds of stuff, but she always taught us, me and my siblings, give before you take. And I think this is part of what I'm doing now, sitting with you here, giving some advices as much as possible, sharing my experience, not to show off, but actually to help next generations. If you are having the same struggle, if you feel that I'm talking your mind or your heart, I'm coming from the future and I'm telling you this is what happened. That's it.
I like the phrase or the sentence. I'm coming from the
Yeah,
future,
yeah.
and this is it. Don't repeat my mistake.
Exactly.
Take the code
Learn from it.
and then do it already from now.
Yeah.
If your father was sitting somewhere in front of us, I know this is a very emotional topic. I apologize for bringing
Yeah.
it. Uh, what would be your message to him?
I will start with thank you. I miss him, but I've learned a lot from him. And the last thing I would tell him is you shaped me and you taught me things that I only realized now.
Allah yarhamhu. Rahmu. We talked about the turning points. We talked about the origin, the values that your family has put on you, the resilience, the fact that you went and you worked while you were studying,
Mm.
and all the learnings you had as a young person. Right now, we're gonna go into the corporate world a little bit. So, when you started managing multiple businesses across 20 plus countries, you are a leader of multiple teams, you shaped the businesses. What was your learning in that period of your life?
So yeah, that's a good question, because I don't want anyone to feel that when I say I quit corporate that it was like a horrible life. No, not at all. I actually wouldn't have been able to do what I'm doing now without the experience of the 22 years in corporate, 22 countries I managed, the 22 categories, thousands of people I've managed. I wouldn't have
Mm,
done that without this experience.
of course.
So I think I also owe a lot my mentors, my line managers, my leaders, management teams that I've worked for, the companies that I worked for. I worked for four big companies, big names that I want to thank in like person. I won't mention the names, but everyone can reach out and know. But actually, I've learned a lot about that. The things that I can mention in corporate life, corporate life is a more structured, process oriented. I would say life.
Mm,
You have a lot of do's and don'ts you can do or you cannot do, which is again helping you in a way to shape and structure your way of thinking. That's why I always urge, if I'm giving an advice to someone very junior graduating, I will tell them, I might be wrong, and
Mm.
I know the Gen Z and Gen X might be stronger than us in a lot of stuff, but don't start with the entrepreneurial experience as soon as you graduate. You still need to go into the corporate life, learn how the processes works, see different functions,
Mm.
have the frictions with your line managers. Someone is giving you tough times, colleagues that are good, colleagues that are bad, doing bad things to you. You need to learn the hard way. This is
It's a
life.
school. It's a
It's a
school.
school by itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And you need to graduate from the school.
Mm.
The thing that might differ from one person to another, okay, stay in corporate for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, okay, this is very, or stay for your life. This is very dependable on the person and the situation. But definitely you need to go into corporate life because you will learn a lot, a lot, a lot. So each company that I worked for had what we called skills and competencies that we get evaluated based on. And I have, so one of the companies I remember, those competencies and skills were 52. So every year you select two, three
Mm.
competencies and skills you need to develop from this level to that level. And you get judged and evaluated, and you get mentors and coaches based on that. Every year, different ones. So definitely, this is this added value to myself, to my life. Yani definitely. So yeah, it's part of the journey.
Yeah. And what during this period, Mustafa, what were the things you didn't like?
uh, a couple. So first thing is routines. I
Mm-hmm.
hate or I hated routines, but when I say routines, I mean rigid processes, routines that don't allow creativity.
Mm.
So this thing I didn't like. Okay.
Because you were part of some big, large
Yes,
multinationals
yes, yes,
that
yes.
are very process oriented, frameworks,
There is a
processes
framework.
everywhere,
There is a framework that you need to
approval,
work. Yes, 100%.
everything was structured.
So I've learned from it, but it doesn't mean that, by the way, if you work in those
Mhm.
big multinationals, people think that this is like heaven and this is like the best in class. No, no, because those organizations are led by people
Mm,
like you and
of
me,
course, of course.
right? So we have our own development areas, we have our own gaps, we have our own mistakes. So even if the big multinationals that you see around you selling billions and billions of dollars and reaching billions of consumers every day, we still do mistakes.
Of course.
But the feeling that you're within a framework sometimes hindered the creativity, hindered
Mm.
my ability
To show yourself
to
who
show
you are.
myself and show my capability
Yep.
and show my team's capability
Mm.
and the functions capability and so on. So this was the first one. The second one, I would say, the pace of the organization, and it's very judgmental because my pace is very fast. I'm
Mm.
a very fast-paced person. So
So
we
you have to
agree on
slow
something
down,
today, tomorrow we need to action, but not everyone is on the same pace.
of
Not
course.
every organization, not every function, not every leader, not every team.
Mm.
Even my team members, I have some people that were very slow-paced that I struggled with.
Of course.
So yeah, this is the second. The third thing, which when I was in corporate in my early ages, I didn't like, but I learned a lot. I had some leaders, and I remember one meeting in specific to one leader. I owe him a lot. He's called Ahmed. I won't say his second name. He was my leader, my line manager in several roles in one of the companies that I worked for. This was a very reflective moment. In one of our end of year appraisals, PDPs, he gave me a meet expectation, and I expected an exceed expectation or outstanding. And and my numbers were like flying.
Mm.
I was achieving almost every single KPI. And he told me something that I still remember till now. He told me, I want to give you an advice you will never, ever forget. Okay? And the cost of this advice is your rating this year.
Mm.
I said, okay. And I was very frustrated. He was a close friend, but I didn't talk to him for like 2 days. And the advice was the following: you did the what, which is the KPIs, okay? But the how was not the best you have. You have.
Mm, mm.
He didn't
So
say
the
you did things wrong.
yeah, the benchmark was yourself,
Was
was your
myself.
potential.
Exactly, my potential. That's the right word. And I said, but this is very unfair. He said, no, you've set a benchmark. I want you to reach there and surpass it.
Mm,
And the second message he told me in this meeting, he told me, I don't want you to think about yourself and how to make yourself shine in public.
mm,
Might be, again, a wrong methodology, but I learned from it. What he meant is, when you enter meetings, don't try to show off, okay? Make your teams show the good results, and by default, people will say, those guys belong to a great leader.
mm.
This was a moment for me I've learned from. It was the hard way because it costed me, the rating depends on the
Some
merit increase and some financials.
some salary,
But
some money.
but I remember it till now. This was like, I don't know, 15 years ago, maybe 10, 15 years ago, but it still resonates with me till now.
Very good. What if Ahmed is in front of you right now? What would you tell him 15 years? Probably he's watching you. Who knows?
Maybe. He's still a close friend.
Okay.
He's a very inspiring person, and he's still in the same company, by the way,
Okay.
more than 20 plus years now.
Mhm.
He's shining as usual. He is one of the best leaders. That's not my view, but the organization recognized him as one of the best global leaders in this company.
Inshallah.
So I just want to thank him, and I'll tell him, he liked this word, you made a difference in my life, because this is how we used to judge leadership in this company. So you made a difference in my life. Thank you for that.
Very good. Inspiring to
Yes.
hear the story. So now, Mustafa, we talked a little bit about the corporate world, and you said 15 months ago you jumped again into the unknown, entrepreneurial spirit again. Let's build my private business. Let's start again from scratch. Not really from scratch, because now you have the foundation, everything it takes.
Yeah.
Take us to the first days and weeks of this new chapter of your life.
Okay. So I would say, before we go into the future phase, but this year, the year of 2025, I would call this is the year of transformation. Okay.
Mhm.
And the moment I decided to pursue this new path, the struggle I had in mind is, am I ready or not? Okay. But you shouldn't be ready 100%.
Mm.
That's what I've learned by experience.
Mm.
80% is good enough. 70% is good enough sometimes. So if you're waiting for perfectionist a person, or to master everything and to put everything on paper, I'm ready 100%, this moment will not come, will
You will
never
never
come.
start. You will never
You will
start.
never start.
Yeah.
So 60, 70, 80% is good enough. Okay. The other thing is, just have the courage. If you believe in it, if you have this calculated risk, or the framework that you have in mind, have faith in yourself, in God, just start. What
Mm.
will happen? What will happen? Now I'm 15 months in this era, right? And I told you I don't want to go back to corporate, right? What if I failed?
Some people will. I'm gonna play
Yeah.
the devil advocate. Some
What if
people
I
will.
fail?
You have kids.
Yeah.
That depends on you. You have
Yeah,
a family
agree.
that depends on you. You need to feed them. Some people will have a mortgage in place.
Yeah, I have all that. All that I have.
So it's scary,
It is.
Mustafa,
It is.
to look at your bank and it's negative.
It is.
and then you have all your loved ones
Yes.
next to you. So
I'll
it's not
tell you
just
what.
about if you were alone,
Yeah.
you'll be like,
Much
fine,
easier.
I can do whatever I want. I can even sleep in the street, it's fine. But then when you have the ones you love and you want the best to provide the best for them when it comes to life, education, whatever their friend have, you want them to have as well. It's a very scary
Allow
situation.
me to be a bit blunt, okay? And
Please.
some people will
Please.
be unhappy with what I'm saying, okay? When you see those big shots, big entrepreneurs, billionaires, if someone is living alone without a family, okay, or he was born in a family that was feeding him with a golden spoon, and he gave me those type of advices, I won't consider them, to be very honest,
Mm.
because it's not the same situation, okay?
Yeah.
But back to your question, yes, I have mortgage, I have financial burdens, I have kids, I have families, I have commitments, I have all of that. But you know what? I have also faith. I have also confidence. I have back there 23 years of experience. I'm not starting from scratch.
Exactly. That's what I
I'm
said. You
just
have the
changing the path.
foundation. Yeah. Or
The
pivot.
way I will start to generate revenue and happiness and passion
Mm.
and future, okay, is just different.
Mm.
Is it less safe than the approach I used to have? Yes. Is it scary, like you said? Big yes.
Mm.
Okay. Is it, does it have ambiguity? 100%. But I still believe that what will happen? What if I fail? What if after another year I said,
So what
you
if?
know what? It's not working.
Mm.
What will happen? I'll go back to corporate. I'll change career. I'll develop myself. I'll do a lot of stuff. But
Mm.
again, I shouldn't give up.
So you are thinking, Mustafa, about the worst scenario. What
Yeah,
I'm understanding. What is the
100%.
worst scenario that could happen if this is not successful? And when you look at your worst scenario, it's still okay.
Yeah,
You can still accept your worst scenario.
yeah,
So let me just do it because whatever happens, I will end up with this situation, which I can accept to live with.
yes. So my fear is not failure. That's the
Mm.
difference. My fear is not failure. My fear is missing out an opportunity that I didn't explore.
Mm.
So I never regret decisions,
Mm.
but I regret the decisions I didn't explore.
Yeah, because anyway, feeling for you is learning. At least
Yeah,
what that's what
yeah,
I understand.
yes, yes.
So you don't actually, you are not feeling. You are actually learning every single time and
There
to
is
become a
nothing
better
called
version of
failure,
yours. Yeah.
actually. It's learning.
Mm.
If you put this in your mind, everything will be smooth. I'm a very calm person,
Mm.
so I rarely get anger or tensed or pressured or whatever. Okay, and this helped me a lot
Mm.
throughout my journey. But I mean, I have also my own fears or doubts or things inside me. I don't show it,
Mm.
but the moment I feel that, I just reverse it into energy boosters of passion, motivation. I just look ahead. I can actually raise my kids in a better way. I can actually do this job in a better way. I can actually, if I'm talking about uh, security, financial security, safety, raising my kids, a better life for my family, why do I need to stick to this? I'm just changing gears, speed, putting more effort, okay, more time for something that might pay out.
Mm.
Even if it doesn't pay out, it's not the end of the world.
Mm.
I still sit on
The
the
same baggage.
experience,
Yeah.
background,
Yeah.
skills, and capabilities that I have. That's it.
Because you have built an asset, and the asset is actually yourself.
It's myself.
It's
Yeah.
not. But for people who didn't manage to build an asset and they are just starting, probably that's why your advice was go to corporate first, build
Yes.
your skill set, build the
100%.
personality you have, and then afterwards
Yes.
you will already be sitting in a podium where whatever happens next, there's no issue because
Yes.
eventually.
You know, in Egypt, we say these experiences thicken your skin. So if you put a needle, I won't feel it.
Yeah.
because my skin already got thicker and thicker and thicker
Should I
every day.
try?
Yes, let's do that.
Great. So we talked, Mustafa, about 2025, which is a year of transformation, you said. So you were thinking about what's the worst scenario that could happen. It's acceptable, so let me just do it. So what happened towards the end of the year 2025?
A lot of stuff, and I'm really proud of. So, when I told you 2025 is the year of transformation, it actually started here, okay? That to be able to transform the business model I'm entering,
So now this is your opportunity to explain what's your
yes. So I
business.
actually transform, before I tell you the business, there is a method I always work with. You know, body, mind, and soul?
Mm-hmm.
I always work with that model. So I needed to transform the body, mind, and soul in the first couple of weeks slash months before even starting my business.
Excellent.
Okay? And I'll tell you a couple of examples. On the body part, I started to go to the gym very frequently. I had a target of weight, target of muscle, a muscle percentage that I want to reach. I started to play other sports. I got certified in diving because this is something I enjoy a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and so on and so forth. A lot of stuff related to your physical health, look, and feel. Mentally, I started, you know, the process of learning, relearning, and unlearning. I started to apply it. So everything that has nothing to do with corporate, okay, I started to learn. Anything that I needed to refresh or revive that will help me in my entrepreneurial experience, I started to relearn. Anything that I don't need, I started to unlearn.
Beautiful.
And one good example of that, I went for the first time ever. I'm not a true believer in MBAs and masters, and I was never like that. Okay. But then I said, okay, that's one thing that I need to change. So I got certified in 2025 from INSEAD, which is one of the best
Yeah.
business schools globally, okay, in a specific certification about leadership, AI, and these type of things, because I felt that this is something I need to learn. This will help me in my new journey. So this is on the mind part. I even started to learn a fourth language, which is Spanish. So these are the type of things. They might look tiny, by the way, but the discipline that you build throughout these tiny things, even if it's personal, build your resilience,
But it's
changes
also,
the mindset.
but also you have this learning or growth mindset, because what I'm hearing is that you are open always to be that schoolboy every single day.
Yes.
Not everyone has this
Yes.
mentality.
Yes, agree. And the last part is the soul part. I started to realize that, you know what, if I'm entering a new era, it would need different things to change here. So I started to revise my connection with my kids, with my mother. You remember in the very beginning, I told you I revised that? I go every month now, every single month. I'm in Cairo to see my kids and to see my mother and to see my people, the people that I love, which is part of healing my soul and getting me prepared for the new era, because I know it will be very tough. It will be very tough. So those are the things that I started to transform. I ended the year with establishing my business. I'm doing currently transformation in in a format of consultancy to different companies, and I'm doing capability building, which is trainings and more capability building for teams across different functions, different
Upscaling team
companies.
members.
Upscaling team, developing teams, and all that, with the sleeves off model. So I'm not one of the big four consultants that, with all due respect, that will give you the modules that you could learn in university. No, I'm coming from the trade. I'm coming
From the field.
from the field, from the ground. So sleeves off. I'm telling you what will work, what will not work.
The truth.
And I'm still the truth. And I'm still getting developed on the go to give you what the new science is saying to add this to the
Mm.
value that I will give to you. So this is my service.
So if one of the CEOs of a company, FMCG company, is watching this podcast, uh, what is the value you're gonna bring to them?
I will give you the real life example of what execution means, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Talking two languages, bringing it bottom up. So you will find me in a project, in the assessment phase, riding the van with the
Mm.
sales rep in the trade. End of the week, I will be preparing a couple of slides in a decent suit, presenting to the leadership team. This end to end.
Mm.
I will give you the full assessment, design, execution
So you'll
with
do
the
the whole.
sleeves of experience of the 23 years I had.
And not everyone can do that.
Yes.
It's a
Not
very
everyone can do that.
linking the shop floor
Yes.
with the boardroom decisions. That's very rarely. It's a rare skill. That's usually in
100%.
the market.
Especially when you blend in the human factor,
Mm.
the people development factor, because some people give you this module or catalog in slides,
Mm.
but they don't tell you how to do it. But
It's
when
usually
you,
theoretical.
it's very theoretical. When you tell them the practical part of it and educate them and develop them, it's the end-to-end service. It's the
Absolutely.
360.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Mustafa, we are getting towards the end of our episode. We're gonna talk about two parts. First, the horizon, the future.
Mhm.
So we are actually almost in the new year,
Yes.
right? So how do you see the future for you? What's the horizon?
Very bright. I have the hope in that. And I know because I'm giving it all. So I have the belief again in myself and in God. Um, the horizon for me or the future, I'll say it in one sentence 2026 for me. If 2025 was the transformation year, this year, the name of it, from my point of view, is decisiveness. This is the
Mm.
year of decisiveness. I will need to take decisions that I was not able to take before.
Can you give an example?
I can give you an example. Bold decisions like who to connect with and who not to connect with.
Mm.
People. Because what I realized during this tough journey of the last 15 months, and sorry to say that, some masks from people's face I saw in a different way. The masks were revealed. People that I thought that will help me, they didn't.
Mm.
And other people appeared in my life that helped me without anything. So bold decisions in the network.
Did that hurt you?
Yes, a lot. A lot. But you know what? You just move on.
Mm.
You remember the resilience? Nothing impacts you, just move on. The second bold decision I would take, for example, I will start to say no to a lot of things that I used to do. Anything that will consume my time,
Mm.
my energy, my effort versus what I want to reach,
It will be very selective.
I'll be very selective.
It's not a hell yeah, it's a no.
Exactly. If it's not a hell yeah, if it's not a big yes, if it will not add value to my aspiration and vision, no need for it.
Mm.
Starting from number of hours I sleep, starting from what I will eat, starting from projects that I will accept or not, starting from dealing with who and who not, everything.
Mm.
The way I get learnings, even the certifications, the courses that I will do for to develop myself. It is about bold decisions. So 2026 is the year of decisiveness.
Beautiful. Um, so Mustafa, if the s- small or the kid or the Mustafa kid is in
Mhm.
front of you today and you are talking to him, what would you tell him after many, many years of ups and downs? And
Um, I'll start with enjoy the journey
Mhm.
as it is. with all the goods and bads. All the obstacles that you faced happened for a reason. And I'm coming from the future and I'm telling you, this is how you will be shaped. So, this is the first message.
Mm,
Second message, believe in yourself, keep going, regardless of what will happen to you. Don't lose faith. And the last thing I will say, stay developing yourself, keep on developing yourself, build, invest in developing yourself, because what you're building is an asset, like you said, which is you.
absolutely.
And no one will own your own development.
Mm,
Even if your line manager in your corporate, your mentor, or your coach tells you, do that, or don't do this. I care about your development. I care about you. Yes, they might be caring, but no one owns the development except yourself. So if you don't spend time and effort and money and everything on it,
yeah.
no one will. No
It's
one.
only you who can
Yes.
take it to the
The
full
only
extent.
person that will hinder your development, I always say that, is the person you see when you front the mirror. That's it.
That's powerful.
That's it.
Um, the tagline of this podcast, Mustafa, is the real code of transformation. I'm gonna ask you, what is the real code of transformation for you?
The starting point, the first code or decoding the password for success, I would say self awareness.
Mm,
Self awareness is a skill that no one talks about, and you see most of the people struggling from this gap or this skill if you don't have
mm,
it. You need to know what you're good at, what you're bad at. You need to close the gap of how you perceive me versus how I perceive myself, because that's the starting point.
absolutely.
If you're not self aware, you won't be able to move. And then I can add to those coding or codes, decoding approaches, believe in yourself, develop yourself, invest in yourself, and never give up. If I want to close with this, I would say, Tony Robbins?
Of course.
I just saw a video yesterday, and it really inspired me. He said that success is not a talent, okay? It's not by coincidence, it is a pattern. So the person who interviewed him was asking him, how would I succeed? He said 3 steps: pattern recognition. So you need to realize and recognize what is the trend, what is the pattern, what is the right things that you do and the wrong things that you need to stop. And then pattern utilization. So how to leverage this,
And use it
how
to
to stop the
advantage.
mistakes,
Yeah.
and how to use things in your favor with your own capabilities.
Mm,
And then the last one is pattern uh, recognition. Okay. And so after, sorry, creation, utilization, recognition, utilization, and creation.
mm,
So this is the highest level of leadership. You start to create your own pattern and to
mm.
set the trends for others
That will
that they will follow. So this is what I will end with, and I loved it a lot because I will start to apply it from tomorrow, actually from today. I love this pattern stuff, and yeah, this is what I will
So
end with.
basically, whatever mistakes you have made in the past, learn from them and don't repeat them again, but use them to your advantage so that you
And add to it
and
your
more.
salt and pepper.
Absolutely. Um, Mustafa, we are probably I will ask one or two questions before we close the episode. The last question I have is, what's your advice to our listeners? What's your advice? Our listeners, the audience can be a senior leader, it can be a person is in the corporate who is still growing in his job. It could be a young professional. What's your advice to the people?
So aside from what we said, because
Yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of what we said could be used, but I always follow my guts.
Okay, it's here.
It's here. Yes, yes. So I know that data is important, information is important, but follow your guts.
Yeah,
The second thing is follow your passion. If you don't enjoy what you do every day, you're in the wrong place.
yeah,
And don't fear the ambiguity in life. Don't fear it. Don't fear failure. I actually want you to fail because you will learn.
absolutely.
Just fear of missing out, this FOMO, is much
Higher.
in a positive way. I mean, missing out of opportunities that you didn't explore is for me
Mm.
much better and stronger than fearing from failure.
Very, very nice. The last question, Mustafa, is what was the question that you would have expected me to ask that I didn't ask? And if you can answer it.
Believe it or not, I was
Yes.
not prepared for this podcast. And I know that the briefing you gave me about the podcast, that 0 to N, there is no structure, there are no questions.
Yeah.
So you didn't prepare, I didn't prepare. What I assumed is that you will be asking me about the journey. Okay. You believe that I could add value to some people and some questions, which I tried to answer.
Thank you for that.
Uh, I expected you to ask some questions about corporate and companies and that, which you didn't do. And I'm happy you didn't do because this is not the real juice of the journey. So actually, I flipped the question. You didn't ask this question. I'm happy that you didn't ask it. So my answer would be all what I answered in your questions that you've asked is the right thing that I was comfortable with.
I don't want to go into the corporate world that much because I feel like we only have 1 hour and there's a lot of juice we can extract from
Yes.
other periods of your life
Yes.
that will be more meaningful for the people. So Mustafa, it's really a pleasure. It was a pleasure. I enjoyed this 1 hour. I learned a lot myself.
Thank you.
I am very impressed with your resilience, with your drive, with your how you actually stand up every single time, even with all whatever life throws into you, you take it heads on and then you just run with it. That's something that you, of course, you should be very proud of, and we can see it from the all the learnings that shaped your life. So hopefully we can find 1 or 2 people who will be watching this
Inshallah.
episode and they will learn from it and they will apply it in their day-to-day life and will be the winners. So thank you very much. Any last message from your side?
No, I just want to thank you again for the opportunity and apologize if I was offending a couple of people in my bold statements. But this is me. This is how I was raised. And I really look forward to for such engagement and networking. Uh, one of the best things that I've learned is you need to network. Your strength is your network. It's
Absolutely.
even stronger than the asset you're building because this is the how you will build the asset is by networking. So
Absolutely.
thank you for giving me this opportunity and thank you for being very genuine. Usually when I'm invited into podcasts, the discussions are like, what are the type of those questions? Okay, do we add this, remove this? You made it very easy, very comfy, and I'm being myself. So thank you for that.
And that's the purpose.
Yes.
That's the purpose. Thank you very much.
Thank you.